Welcome to Mitchell Elf. Our theme this year is Adaptations, and this unit is Hunter Hunted, and this is Center 4, Super Hunter, and Catch Me If You Can. Super Hunter is the main activity for this center. Students are going to be creating and describing a predator that's adapted to catch a specific prey, but there's also a supplemental activity called Catch Me If You Can, and after you view this video you can decide how and if you would like to use that. You may choose to use it before you do the Super Hunter activity or as a backup if the kids get done creating their Super Hunter and you need to fill up some time. Catch Me If You Can is a game, and the Super Hunter is a craft and a writing activity. So the goal, like I said, of the Super Hunter activity is for students to create and describe a predator adapted to catch a specific prey. So before you start, you might use the library books provided and this laminated sheet that has a list of predator and prey adaptations to discuss with students various adaptations that predators and prey have. I would focus on the predator adaptations, such as front-facing eyes or acute hearing, specialized equipment, claws and talons, different things, and their descriptions with them to help get a conversation and imagery going in their head about what a super hunter that's going to capture one of these kinds of prey would look like. So after you have a brief discussion about that, then you're going to hand one of these cards, a Super Hunter card, out to each student. And I think there's enough that every student can have a different one. So this one, for instance, says your prey is a green frog in a grassy swamp. And this one says your prey is a deer on in a woodlands island. This one is kind of cool. This one says your prey is a porcupine in a treetop. So students, after they get these cards, this one is called, says your prey is birds perching on cliffs. So after they get this card, you might want to, especially with the younger kids, discuss some helpful adaptations, either individually with each student or with a group before they begin creating their predators. And older students, if you'd like, could work independently or with a partner. That's up to you and the dynamics of your group. The goal is for students to design a predator that's adapted to catching the prey that's on the card and that lives in the location described on the card. You're going to ask the students to think about the special challenges of finding and catching the specific prey, the senses that those animals would need, the body type, the skills that would help that predator catch that prey. And then the students are going to draw on their own a real or imaginary predator hunting the prey. So you'll give students a piece of paper, and we provided some colored pencils. They can bring their own crayons if they'd like to, or some of their own colored pencils. That's up to you. And you're going to encourage them to be scientific as well as creative. For instance, it says in the outline, would a bright purple and pink giant snapping dragon-faced wolf be able to actually approach prey undetected? So they can be creative, but probably that wolf that's pink and purple, that would have a hard time. That wolf-faced dragon would have a hard time approaching prey without the prey seeing it. So make sure to kind of suggest and point those kind of subtleties out. Again, you could use photos in the books to help get kids' creative juices going. And when they're all done, students can introduce their super predator and describe the adaptations it possesses that help it catch its special prey. If you'd like to, if some kids finish ahead of other kids, you could have them write on the back the specific adaptations that their super hunter has. And then again, you can choose to have students do another drawing based on another kind of prey. There's a whole packet of Super Hunter cards. I think there's about 16. Or you can move on to the other activity, which is Catch Me If You Can. And Catch Me If You Can is an activity that's a game. And all the instructions are in this Ziploc bag that says catch them if you can, and the materials are in here as well. And what you're going to do, I'm moving this way. What you're going to do, so here we go. Here are the directions. Here's kind of a picture and illustration of what it is. And there are two bags. One bag is full of things that represent prey, like marbles and straws and paper clips and coins. And the other bag is full of things that represent predators, like spatulas and toothpicks and spoons and forks and a pair of tweezers. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pour all those items out into a tray, or you could even use the inside of the bin, or even the lid of the bin would work too. And each student is going to pick a predator to be. And each of these predators have different structures. And you might kind of want to hint at that at the beginning. What kind of structure does your predator have? And so you'll take the prey, and I wouldn't dump out this entire, you don't have to dump out the entire box of paper clips or everything, but just select a handful of everything, pour it out into the tray, and then each person will take their predator tool, and when you say go, you're going to try to collect as many prey items as they can as possible for 1 minute. Each predator can attack any type of prey, but they can only use their predator tool to attack the prey. They cannot use fingers. So like if you can get stuff scooped into the spatula, but it won't stay on the spatula without your fingers, then that doesn't count. So in the end, after the minute, you'll stop the game and have everybody count how much of each thing they got, and you can record that as a group on this data table. And then after you've recorded the results, you can interpret the data and do things like figure out, well, which predator caught the most prey, which got caught the most, the straws, the marbles, the coins, the paper clips, or the paper squares, and have a discussion with the students about the different predator structures and how some predators were better at catching certain prey and some were not because they didn't have the appropriate structure, so they couldn't catch certain kinds of prey. And in the end, the overall objective of this is for students to gain an understanding of how unique and various physical predator structures are and how those adaptations help a predator catch and kill its prey. So, so this activity might not take very long, or it could take a while, depending on how you use it and depending on the adaptations you make with the game itself. It's meant, again, to be a supplemental activity. Or if you feel like your group might not be so keen on doing the drawings, you could use this as your main activity and have the drawings be more of a discussion about what kind of predators, what would they look like if they were a super hunter of that prey. We are always welcome to you adapting the activity as meets the needs of your group of students. So if you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Please make sure to put everything back the way you found it. That's always super nice for the next person using the center. And have fun. Thank you very much.